My name is Anna Becchi, and I live in Rome. And I'm a mother of 3 children, and I work as a project manager in Rome. And I move myself with this bike, in Rome, myself and my little children, 5 years old, and. And I'm an activist cyclist. And I do my activism in Salva i Ciclisti Roma and in Back to School Roma. Okay, I like a lot this district. This district name is Esquilino because this district, as you can see, is a very multicultural district. It's full of people from all around the world. So I like a lot this place because you feel to be in the world, not only Rome. And I wanted to do the interview just a little bit over there, where there is a pedestrian place, but today it was full of cars, so I couldn't do my interview over there. This place that you can see over here, it's a new showroom that I'm going to open in September. It's an activity that I'm going to do with a friend of mine, and it's a showroom that it's for people who have passion in Rome, art and bicycles. So it's about what we're talking about. Okay. Mobility in general, for me, it's a way of moving people from a place to another one, just easily like that. But in a city like Rome, it can be a big problem because not only because Rome is very big, but because people is not used to move like with public transport or walking or by bike. But the only way of moving in Rome, every people think, is by car. It's very hard, but it's getting better. It's getting better only because like 15 years ago, I was going by bike in Rome, and I was the only one at crossing streets. I was always the only biker, so it was very hard because people was not used to see bicycles, and it was very dangerous. Nowadays, it's still very dangerous, but we are a lot more people is taking the bicycle in Rome. Like you can see if you go down the center, you can see tourists going around by bike. Like 10 years ago, you wouldn't see any tourists going around Rome by bike because it was considered to be off limits. Now it's getting to be a little bit more bike friendly, but just because people is getting the idea that bikes can go around in Rome, not because of infrastructure, not because of people habits, because people still park the car like in the middle of the street, still go very fast with cars, but they are a little bit more used to the concept that people can go by bike in Rome. Okay. Back to school, actually, I invented back to school. In Rome, it's a movement of parents that decided to bring the children to school on bike 1 day a month. It's an experience that we parents want to give to our children, the possibility of going with a bike on the streets, because normally it's off limits for them. It's too dangerous to take a child on a bike on the street at this moment. So we move all together parents and children to go together in big groups from a point to another one, getting to the school. And it's very funny for them. They enjoy a lot to go on the street together with their friends to school on a bike. It's like a big experience for them. So, and they start to learn that it's possible. The bike, it's, for mobility is not a thing, it's not a game, it's not only, because normally people think that a bike for children is like a game that they can play in a little park or close to mobility, close to the streets. No, the bike, it's a means of mobility. You can go on the streets with the bike. So they start learning that there can be another way of moving in the city, okay? And Salve Ciclisti was a consequence of my activism with Back to School, because when the association was made, I started knowing a lot of people, and I wanted to give my activism to this association, because it's the only association in Rome, bike association in Rome, that's concerned about moving by bike in the town. Because normally the other associations are concerned about going with a bike also in the countryside, or like sportive biking, which is something very different. I can talk about the limits of going by bike in town, because I have a lot of limits. Actually, I cannot, especially when I go with my child, I cannot go everywhere in Rome. I'm very limited because some streets are really too dangerous. Some are too long distances. So with a child on a bike, you cannot go everywhere actually in town. So I can go with my child on the bike, because in my everyday life I can choose streets and trips that I can do with him.